welcome back to Sinister Sisters.
Hello.
It's Sinister Sunday.
Woo.
And it's my episode this week.
Yeah.
I am Shrimp, and I tell you true crime stories. You are.
I'm Cat, and I
what do
tell
you do?
assorted stories about whatever I wish. Usually
Woot!
along the sinister lines, because that's who we are.
Yes. Your episodes, though, do not involve murder.
Not typically.
Mm-hmm. They are usually on the lighter end.
Yes.
Of spooky, scary skeleton content.
Yes, indeed.
Last week on Cat's episode, we talked about liminal spaces.
Yeah. Actually, I meant...
I was going to say it's spooky, but it's not scary.
Yeah, exactly. I stayed in a hotel in Calgary the other night, and it literally, the hallway looked like the back rooms. I took a picture of it for you, but I forgot to send it to you.
Bitch.
Creepy.
We love that. We love having real life experiences of things that we have talked about on the pod, and it's so much better when it's from Cat's episode and not mine.
Truly. Also, the dude who checked us in, have you ever seen Superstore, like the TV show?
No.
Oh, the dude who checked us in looked just like a character, Mateo from Superstore, and had the same attitude. Yeah. Hey,
I'm
man,
sure
the
that would.
They know.
I'm sure that would be a lot cooler if I knew what the fuck you were talking about.
You should watch that because I think you would like it.
Just like I would like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
You know what?
Which I didn't, by the way.
This is a more sure bet, I think, because it's about retail. So you can relate, because you've worked in retail.
Unfortunately, I know the trials and tribulations of customers.
Yeah.
One guy called me
customers. Go ahead.
I was working cashier at a department store, I guess, like Walmart, but the Canadian version, Canadian Tire. And I was a cashier, and the price of something rang up wrong, as it does sometimes, and you just have to call somebody from the department and get it fixed, whatever. This guy, instead of being nice, he called me a cunt.
What?
Yes.
As if it's your personal fault that
my personal fault. Yeah.
Yikes.
Anyway. We should do a working in retail horror stories episode.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I've blacked them all out.
Oh.
Because it was traumatizing. So
fair. Honestly, it's so fucked up that it's just such a shared experience for anybody who's worked in retail that it's just acceptable now almost. Every single person that I know that has worked in retail has had some shitty conversation or interaction with a fucking customer, and most of my friends have worked in retail at some point. Are we just accepting that?
Yeah.
Are we just letting people bully customer service workers? They're just there making a living, they're people too.
Yeah, barely making a living too is the
thing. Right? Anyways, that is a whole other rant that I would like to go on at some other point, because today we are talking about the Richardson Family Murders. Before we get into that, though, you should follow us on Instagram at sinistersisters.podcast. Follow us on TikTok at Sinister Sisters Podcast. You can see our video versions of the episodes at Sinister Sisters Podcast on YouTube. And you can also email us at sinistersisterspod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
We have case request forms in all of the descriptions and biographies and things like that you can request cases through. We do have some, and we are getting those into the episode lineup very soon.
Yes.
I think after season 2 is over, season 2 of Sinister Sisters is Devious Duos. I think since we changed the format a bit, I might not do like a theme, and we'll just talk about murder. That'll be the theme. True crime will
Yeah.
be the theme, as opposed to breaking it down. I've liked having a theme, but then we miss out on like things that are happening.
Yeah, more recent things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or case requests that are not within the theme,
Right.
because we have one
Yeah.
right now that is not. And anyways, we'll keep you updated on the plans for the pod on Instagram.
Yes. We shall.
But, so, the content warnings for this episode include murder, an age gap relationship. So from that, I have inferred grooming. I don't know if it happened, but one person, the girl, she was 12, and the other one was like 23. So
Ugh.
definitely not the vibe. So today we are talking about Jasmine Richardson, who is the youngest person ever charged with multiple counts of murder in Canada,
Ooh.
as she was 12 years old at the
Interesting.
time of the crime. So, let's get into it.
I think I have heard of this one, actually.
Yes, probably. It's relatively local to us. Anyways, Medicine Hat, Alberta, in Canada in 2006, 3 members of the Richardson family were murdered. And the murder was planned and committed by the family's 12-year-old daughter, Jasmine Richardson, and her 23-year-old boyfriend, Jeremy Steinke, who now goes by the name Jackson May. So, at 1 p.m. on April 23rd, 2006, the bodies of Mark Richardson, who was 42, Deborah Richardson, who was 48, and a young boy named Tyler, who was 8, were discovered in their home. The husband and wife were found in the basement, and the son was discovered upstairs. Absent at the home at that time was the couple's 12-year-old daughter, Jasmine, and for a time it was feared that she might have also been a victim, but she was arrested the following day in the community of Leda, Saskatchewan, about 130 kilometers or 80 miles away, with her 23-year-old boyfriend, Jeremy Allen Steinke. Both were charged with 3 murders. The 3 murders. Later on May 3rd, 2006, Steinke's friend Casey Lancaster, who was 19, was charged with being an accessory for driving them away in her pickup truck later in the day and for disposing of evidence. So, this chick, even though that this was 2006, social media wasn't what it is now. It like barely even existed. Like,
Yeah.
I think Facebook was only just a thing in 2006, and like YouTube had only really just begun. So again, we don't really know anything about Jasmine really before all this happened, but according to her friends, Jasmine had been grounded by her parents for dating Steinke because of their age difference,
Yeah.
which fair.
Makes sense.
They had met at a punk rock concert. So that's probably like Mariana's Trench or some shit. A Canadian icon.
I mean, this is a total side note.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm not like a criminal or
Yeah.
criminally inclined, but like being in my mid-20s, mid to late 20s at this point, I cannot imagine, just for fun, hanging out with a random preteen
Yeah.
I wasn't related to, you know? Like if it's like a cousin or something, whatever. Cool, I'll hang out. But like,
yeah. What the fuck do you have in common with it? I personally am 23 right now, and that's how old Jeremy is at the time of these crimes. A 12-year-old? That's in grade 6?
7 maybe?
6, 7?
Kids these days are all into Fortnite and slime. Like that. That's all you have to talk about.
I mean, yeah, but like, I wouldn't want to spend enough time with a 12-year-old to get to be their friend, let alone their boyfriend. Like,
Yeah,
gross.
it's gross, yeah.
Gross. Anyways, her friends apparently also criticize this relationship, which makes a lot of fucking sense. Like,
Yeah.
if I had a friend and was like, my boyfriend's 23, actually, I was kind of a dumb 12-year-old, so I might have been like, that's so cute and that's so hot. But, whatever. I was absolutely convinced when I was probably younger than 12, but that I was going to marry Nick Jonas, and it was going to happen. Like, it didn't matter that he was thousands of miles away at all times and didn't
Yeah.
know that I existed. It was going to happen.
I also, for a while, thought I was going to marry Nick Jonas, so
Oh,
there would have been a duel.
a cat
He's more my age, though.
fight.
He's like just maybe like 2 years older than me, so.
Right, but his wife right now is 10 years older than him, so he clearly doesn't care about an age gap, so.
No. Call us up, Nikki.
I'm available. Actually, if any famous man is calling me, Harry Styles, please.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry, Nick Jonas.
Anyway.
Just not really my
Yeah.
type anymore.
Yeah, it's fine.
Except for neither is Harry Styles. Anyways, that doesn't matter. This is a tangent.
Side note.
So, after her arrest, Steinke asked Jasmine to marry him, and she agreed. And according to his friends, he told them he was a 300-year-old vampire, telling them, that he liked the taste of blood and wore a small vial of blood around his neck. He also had a user account at vampirefreaks.com.
This man had friends?
I guess? I mean, I'm sure we all went through a phase, especially around the time Twilight came out, that we thought that we were vampires as well. Don't lie.
But I was like 12.
So maybe when you were, yeah.
Like,
I guess.
I can be forgiven for being an idiot at 12.
Right.
But you're an adult.
Angelina Jolie wore a vial of Billy Bob Thornton's blood around her neck.
Why? That's unhygienic.
I don't know. It's literally a biohazard, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It was criticized when she did it too. As it should
weird.
be. Yeah, right? So Jasmine also had a page on this site, leading to speculation that they met there, but an acquaintance of Jeremy later said the couple met at a punk rock show in early 2006. Again, so probably Mariana's Trench.
Or like Simple Plan.
Simple Plan, Finger 11. We're really showing our
classics.
Our we grew up in Canada-ness right now.
Well, Simple
fun
Plan,
fact.
I don't think so much, but Mariana's Trench for sure is a.
And Finger 11. Headley. Oh, I'm so sad because that one song, For the Nights I Can't Remember, I think it's called, is such a bop, but he's a sexual predator, so.
Yeah.
Can't listen to it in good conscience.
Funds. No.
Yeah.
Like
fun fact.
Somewhere.
On the radio in Canada, there's like the broadcasting, you probably already know this, but for the viewers, the Broadcasting Association, like laws or whatever, like I think 30% of whatever's played on radios and television channels in Canada has to be of Canadian origin. So we hear a lot of, if you listen to the radio in Canada for 4 hours, or if you're at work in retail and they're listening to the radio, it's a lot of Justin Bieber, a lot of Mariana's Trench, Serena Ryder, because they have to play these fucking Canadian artists, and there's like 4 of them. So Shawn Mendes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah, it's good. It's good. The couple were also found to be communicating on Nexopia, which apparently was a popular website for young Canadians.
Oh.
In 2006. I don't know. Jasmine's user page on this Nexopia website was under the name Runaway Devil and said that she was 15, which she wasn't, she was 12. Even 15 and 23 is not an acceptable age gap.
Not cool.
Not cool. And it ended with the text, "Welcome to my tragic end." So she was very emo.
I think that's a song lyric.
It might be. It's probably like My Chemical Romance or something.
Yeah.
It gives me that vibe. Just hours prior to committing the murders, the two of them and some friends reportedly watched the 1994 film called Natural Born Killers, which is about a young couple who go on a violent killing spree. Jeremy told his friends that he and his girlfriend should go about their plans in a similar manner, but without sparing her little brother. Jeremy also said to an undercover officer, "You ever watch the movie Natural Born Killers? I think it's the best love story of all time." End quote.
What a gross person.
Yeah. So, the reason why there's not too much information on this case is because of the Youth Criminal Justice Act in Canada. So, Jasmine's name could not be published in Canada after she became a suspect. So, there was a lot of like information that didn't come out about her and her involvement and everything. Under that same act, 12 is the youngest possible age at which a person can be charged with a crime. If you're younger than 12, you're considered to be not criminally responsible because you don't know it's a crime, I guess. I'm pretty sure I knew murder was a crime when I was like 11, but I guess there has to be a certain age, right?
I think sometimes exceptions can be made too if it's something like particularly clear that the person knew what they were doing.
Right.
But yeah, obviously, an 8-year-old who steals a candy bar probably doesn't quite realize that it's a crime. So
I did.
Well,
genius, baby. Actually, I was a gifted kid, and then as an adult completely burned out and crashed and failed at everything, and then have come to now learn that I'm actually neurodivergent, and I think I probably wasn't a gifted kid. I just hyperfixated on things that made me look gifted, like reading.
Yes. Same.
Also, under the Youth Criminal Justice Act, convicts who were under the age of 14 at the age that they committed the crime could not be sentenced as adults and could not be given more than a 10-year sentence. So, on July 9th, 2007, Richardson, who had by then turned 13, was found guilty of 3 counts of first-degree murder in the killings, and she is the youngest person in Canada ever convicted of multiple murders. On November 8th, 2007, she was sentenced to the maximum allowed under the law for someone her age, which was 10 years. Her sentence included credit for 18 months already spent in custody, to be followed by 4 years in a psychiatric institution and 4.5 years under conditional supervision in the community. In September 2011, Richardson began attending classes at Mount Royal University in Calgary, Alberta. During the final years of her sentence, she was released from a 10-year sentence at a psychiatric hospital in the fall of 2011, and in October 2012, it was reported her rehabilitation was going well, and she expressed genuine remorse for her actions that experts have considered to be genuine. In May of 2006, her sentence was completed, and she was freed of any further court-ordered conditions, restrictions, or supervisions after a final sentence review on May 6th, 2016. So 2016. So she's just vibing now. She probably was able to get her name changed and things, and is just a member of the community now.
Interesting. Is she still in Alberta? Do you know?
No idea.
Interesting.
Steinke admitted to the murder of the parents in conversation with an undercover police officer while in custody. He was tried in November 2008. I don't know. And found guilty by a jury on 3 counts of first-degree murder. And on December 15th, 2018, he was sentenced to 3 life sentences, 1 for each first-degree murder count. The sentences are to be served concurrently, and he will be eligible for parole after serving 25 years. That's actually a legal requirement, is that if you have a life sentence, you have to be eligible for parole after 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to get parole. You just have to be able to apply
eligible
for it. Yeah.
So that's pretty soon, right? In the next few years. 2026 would be 20 years, so.
That's in 3 years.
Yeah, but you said after 25, so.
Oh, yeah.
He's got 8 more years until he's eligible.
That's still pretty fucking soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean he's going to get it either.
Yeah.
He won't be.
He's like middle-aged, right? If he was 23 and he served 25 years, he'd be in his 50s. Late 40s.
Yeah, but people live till they're 90.
Well, true.
Yeah. I would be interested. There's a lot of conjecture around this case that he was kind of the driving force of it. And that Jasmine, although she did help, it was probably not her idea, and that she might have been groomed into it.
Yeah.
Especially with his whole "I'm a vampire" thing. It's like vampires do murder, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad. I think, like, personal opinion, I don't think 12-year-olds really generally are capable of things like that. And not to your own family.
Yeah. I think that's the, like, kicker of it anyways, that it was her own parents and her brother. And I think if you do feel anger, if you're like a little different in your thinking patterns, and you do find your parents to have done something awful to you, like grounding you for seeing your boyfriend, why would you kill your brother?
Yeah.
Like, he was 8. What could he have possibly done?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
And pretty senseless, it seems, too. Like, there wasn't, that we know of, there was no, like, abuse or anything that was happening in the family.
Yeah.
So, obviously, we don't know that for sure. And we probably never will, but
right.
It's just a whole lot.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem to make sense. I can remember being 12 and murder really never passed my mind.
No.
No.
Even, like, hurting people seriously. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I might have wanted to, like, kick you for being annoying, but, like, that's as far as it would have gone. And I would have felt so guilty immediately afterwards, so.
I did used to punch you as a kid.
Yeah, but not very hard.
Well, I'm a wet noodle, so.
Also, never with, like, I think it's a different dynamic, like, punching your sibling versus hurting your parents.
Yeah, I don't think either of us ever.
No, not that I can remember.
Did anything to. Once I accidentally threw a bottle at Dad's head. But, like, not, like, I was asking him to put it in recycling for me, and I just assumed he'd be able to catch it because Sinister Dad, would catch it, right? But he wasn't paying attention, and then it hit him in the head. I was like, oh, sorry.
Also, you're not very athletic generally, so.
Hey, if he put his hands up, it would have gone directly into his hands.
Okay.
It hit him in the head.
Instead it hit him in the head.
Yeah, because he wasn't ready.
Yeah.
It's his fault.
Just gaslighting him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely.
And also it was accidental. So, like, you can't accidentally murder someone.
Yeah. Well,
You can accidentally kill people, but it's not murder then.
true.
Because murder is premeditated.
That was my attempt at rolling my R.
Anyways, bitches.
Anyway.
Let us know what you think of this episode, and let us know if you think about, like, when people become capable of murder. Do you think 12-year-olds in general, like, are capable of murder? Do you think younger? I know there's this case in England, and her name's Mary Bell, I think, and she was 8 when she committed her first murder. Yeah. Let us know what you think about that.
Indeed.
Whether, kids are too young, or when they become cognizant of what murder is and how to commit it.
Yeah. My personal opinion, similar to how when children know too much about sex, you are concerned about what they've been exposed to. I would think if children know about murder, it's because they've been exposed to it by an adult.
Yeah. I think it's hard to put a particular age on it because I think that children have different experiences, obviously. And I think on that comment is that we probably knew a lot more about things that were inappropriate for children when we were young because we read a lot. And I read, personally, I can only speak for myself, but I read at a very high level for my age.
Yeah.
Genius. And our parents were very open with answering questions like that.
That's true. Yeah.
So we probably knew more. So I think, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I think it depends on the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, obviously, there has to be some, like, if they have antisocial personality disorder, then they might be younger and be committing murder, Depends on
You
the
can't
kid.
diagnose that until they're 18.
Oh?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But just because you can't diagnose it until you're 18, you're born with it, aren't you?
I think it can also develop.
I'm
not 100% sure.
I feel like I did 1 semester in university, or a year perhaps, of psychology as my major, and so this conversation is above my knowledge bracket. I don't
It's above
know.
me reading level.
I
It's
don't
above
know
me
when
pay
kids.
grade.
Yeah, I don't know when kids become murderers and when they can be criminally responsible. I don't know.
I don't know.
But let us know what you think.
Yeah. We're down to discuss. Let's pretend Google doesn't exist, and
well, but, like, Google does
we'll
exist.
make up our own answers.
But, like, Canada, the country, decides that it's 12. But why? Is it 12 for every kid ever? Yeah, in Canada it is, as far as I know. Wild conversation that I do not have the education for. So if you're a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a child, I don't know what that would even be, a childhood age researcher, child crime researcher, let us know.
Yeah. Youth criminal justice researcher.
Yeah.
Or knowledgeable person.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.